good dog? Huh? Yeah. I had just a wonderful life as a veterinarian, but it was time to retire.
What I really like about Larry is he involved me in the diagnosis of my pets.
Roger had an allergic reaction to a bee sting. Had Dr. Gerson not reacted so quickly, Roger would have died.
Oh, sit. As a person with a hearing loss, as well as being totally blind, I rely on Dr. Gerson. I just trust him implicitly.
I had a dream to start a little clinic, just a small little family practice. I was just a normal boy. I kind of always felt that I was like Beaver and my brother was Wally. We had a very normal family. We didn't have a lot of money, but we were happy. I remember I was about 10 years old and the librarian came to school and told us about this wonderful new book called Born Free. We had to get on a list just to take the book out and take it home and read it. I think that's when I got hooked. I started Point Breeze Veterinary Clinic in 1977. A friend of mine came to me and said that there's a place available. There was a grooming shop on the second floor. They said they're looking for a veterinarian to rent the first floor. We got an old used x-ray machine and got an old human operating table and put together a little operating clinic, and it wasn't fancy. In the early 80s, a client approached me about doing a pet talk show. Have a daily routine of exercise. Life can become quite boring when a dog is kept in the house all the time. I've always felt that public education about veterinary medicine is extremely important.
Larry was the consulting veterinarian for Petland. We called Larry and said, there's a very sick Wheaton puppy there. Larry's like, I know, I already have him at the clinic. Later, Larry appeared at the door with a little cardboard carrier, took out this puppy who had 3 shaven legs from all the IVs. Larry was like, keep him tonight, see if you like him. We named him Gus.
A student said to me, there's blood on your dog's nose. The nose cancer had come back. Dr. Gerson said, she walked in here on her own accord. You did not make her suffer. We really needed to hear that. We had done the best we could do by Ursula.
Yeah. Who's good? This is Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. He did live at the top of the street. I did take care of his dogs. And they were just the most warm and genuine people you'd ever wanted to meet. And it was just a pleasure to get photographs in the office for Mr. Rogers' book. One of the things my first employer taught me is that you have to give back to the profession. In 2001, we started an organization called ARF, which is a funny name for an organization, but it's the Allegheny Abused Animal Relief Fund. We ask people, when they get their county licenses, to chip in an extra $1 or $2 or more to help for abused and neglected animals. ARF is a last chance for some of these animals to get rehabilitated, animals that otherwise might have been put to sleep because it just cost too much or was too complex. But now we can save those animals, and I'll tell you what, it's a good feeling.
I was at work and one of our techs brought this tiny little squirrel-looking thing around. I saw her and I just fell in love.
This was a puppy that was dumped.
We found out that she had a pretty bad heart murmur.
The blood vessel that should close at birth didn't. And this animal needed open chest surgery. The cost is thousands of dollars. We applied to ARF to pay for that surgery. This dog without surgery had a very poor chance of living. With surgery, it's a normal, healthy, happy animal, and it'll be great for 15 years. I've retired. How you doing today? You good? And I can't tell you how proud I am to see my daughter taking over my veterinary practice.
I always remember being here. I remember crawling and making forts out of the dog food, having fun being put in a cage, always learning and listening and doing.
She had this special knack for animals, and I could see that she was the future veterinarian. One of my proudest moments was when I was able to put the white coat on her. And it was a moment that would bring tears to your eyes.
Stangle the cat was a cat that was attacked by two dogs. Just a neighborhood cat, kind of fed by everyone on the street. When Stangle came in, he was in really bad shape.
I looked at this cat and thought, there's just no way. There wasn't enough skin to put this animal back together. But my daughter decided she was going to try. And she somehow was able to stitch this poor cat back together, and he was a little tight in the skin, but he did very, very well.
Stangle's still around. He's an old man now. On my birthday, he sends me a happy birthday picture. Thanks for saving my life.
Look at the paws.
I always loved working with my dad.
You need your nails trimmed.
I'm most proud of just his dedication. Every day, somebody will let me know how much of an impact he's made on their lives and their pets' lives.
Many times Larry has come through for us.
That empathy that he showed us was something I'll never forget.
Larry gave us the gift of guts.
I have had, honestly, the most wonderful life as a veterinarian.
The Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare June 7th, 2021 to be Lawrence Gerson VMD Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
My wife and I had a dream